It is arguably the single largest country-specific climate investment partnership ever. We're thrilled to be a part of it and to have negotiated it and discussed it and collaborated in the development of this over the last 9 months very closely with the government of Indonesia. I think the combination of today's announcement by our heads of state and yesterday's announcement of the Energy Transition Mechanism country platform are a clear sign that the government of Indonesia truly is committed to an expedited energy transition driven by good economics, strong investment, and a prospect of a cleaner and more sustainable future. And the U.S. and Japan are thrilled to be partnering with the government of Indonesia in that regard in launching this Just Energy Transition Partnership. Along with our co-leads, Japan and the broad international partners group, which consists of G7 countries plus Denmark and Norway, over the next 6 months, we will work with Indonesia to develop a comprehensive investment plan that seeks to peak power sector emissions over 7 years earlier than previously scheduled, doubles the rate of renewable energy deployment in the country, and supports Indonesia in the goal, as established in today's joint statement, of moving forward its target for being net zero in the power sector by a full 10 years, from 2060 to 2050. These are significant, meaningful aspirations and targets that have been set jointly by our leadership in the context of this joint statement, and that's the ambition that we're seeking to support. Collectively, the emissions reductions from those targets are equivalent to about 300 megatons between here and 2030, and over 2 gigatons between here and 2060 over current business as usual. And just to put those numbers in perspective, 300 megatons is the equivalent of taking half the US passenger cars off the road for 1 year, and 2 gigatons is equivalent to about 15% of global power sector emissions in any given years. So these are globally significant numbers that we are partnering with Indonesia to achieve and providing the finance to support that ambition. We have partnered with the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, the Climate Investment Fund's Accelerated Coal Transition Program, and benefited from the work of so many, including the International Energy Agency, whose advice, counsel, and data and analysis really helped us arrive at the ambition set forth in this announcement. So with that, I'd just like to say, today is let's say, not the beginning of the end, but it's the end of the beginning. We begin the hard work of the implementation now, and the 6 months ahead will be the time where we really put our heads together and come up with a comprehensive investment plan that guides this investment over the 3 to 5 year investment window that Coordinating Minister Luhut referred to. So congratulations to Indonesia on this historic announcement today. Thank you.
Yeah, please, if you have any question, please. Oh yeah, sorry, John Kerry is supposed to be here, but he couldn't make it because he's now in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt, yeah.
I'm here at COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh, but I want to congratulate everybody with respect to the JETP that is being announced today for cooperation with Indonesia. And I thank President Jokowi for his extraordinary leadership, Minister Luhut and other ministers, all of whom have come together to create this platform. This is one of the most important agreements that has been reached in the entire year since Glasgow. It's going to have a profound impact on helping the people of Indonesia be able to move to a clean economy and set an example to the world. So congratulations to everybody involved in this. We just think this is terrific, and I look forward to being back in Indonesia to help implement and move forward. Thank you.
We will give you the video later if you ask.
Ya, kalau ada pertanyaan, please, if you have any question, please. Oh, another from the Prime Minister of Japan, yeah. Okay, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good evening. My name is Grace. I'm from Bloomberg News. I have a few questions for Opung Luhut. First one is a bit technical, Pung. Following up this financing, is there any details on the coal-fired plants that will be retired by this funding, through this financing? And then for the distribution, funding distribution, how much is the portion of the debt and the grant? And is the interest rate low enough, beneficial enough for us? That's my first question. And the second is, what has been offered to coal players to assure that this phase out would not hurt their business, their bottom line? Any assurance that the government has given the coal businesses for this plan? And Indonesian is commonly known, Indonesian coal business is commonly known, closely related to elites and politics. And how did Indonesian government manage to convince the donors that the coal players will be able to deliver?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
thank
think
you.
there's still a lot of things to do for the next 6 months. We mentioned already about this, and detail, figure, etc. We have already a number, but to finalize this number, I think it takes some time before we can come up with this. But I think the very important one, John Morton and his team, and Rahmat, Ibu Nani with our team, already building the very good trust. So then we understand what we're going to do for the next 6 months. And when you ask about the number of how many gigawatt that we're going to make early retired, we have already maybe 5.2 we propose gigawatt. But how do we schedule this one? We like to make it also detailed things. And how many loans that we're going to have? Well, we also discussed about the issue. And what's also the interest of the loan, detail, I think, can be discussed later on. And Rahmat maybe get some numbers about that. Or John, you can maybe add some this one. Please, John.
Sure, thank you. I'll be brief and respond to two of the questions. Thank you for those. With respect to the $20 billion headline figure, that's divided between public contributions of about $10 billion and private contributions of $10 billion as well. I will note that it is also, I think, historic to have a private sector commitment alongside a public sector commitment, and it's we really applaud and thank the Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero and GFANZ for helping bring together a coalition of 7 global financial institutions who are prepared to invest in this transition and to support this ambitious agenda. With respect to the public finance, that includes a mixture of concessional finance, grants, loans, guarantees, and a whole range of public funds that come from a range of different public financial institutions across the 9 member IPG countries. And more details will be available about those over time as we develop the investment plan. And with respect to coal, I will just say that we have established a goal and a target in the joint statement, a very clear target of, and you'll see it on the public announcements, of 290 megatons of CO2 equivalent. And that, of course, is a number that we now will start driving toward and working collaboratively with our colleagues to achieve.
Whatever we are going to do, one thing that I make also on the criteria, we're not going to disturb our economic growth. This is, I think, very important things, you know, so that we have to be careful also to do it. So we have to do it right. So it's not an easy job, to be honest to all of you, because job creation and also about many things. But we look at the balance of this, we are pretty confident also, because trust between us, I think, is already there, and John Morton and my team, they are working hand in hand, and my communication also with Pak John Kerry also going very well. So I don't know how many times we make a telephone call, and maybe Zoom and meeting in order to come up with this situation today. So we are pretty confident that we can achieve this target. Like John Morton explained, the number of carbon emission that we can reduce by doing this, and etc. Yeah, siapa lagi?
Maybe one more, Pak, because we have to
ahead.
go after. Siapa? One more.
Yeah.
Selamat sore, Opung. Andi Pung dari Kata Data.
Ya.
Ada beberapa pertanyaan yang mau aku tanyakan. Pertama, tadi kan terkait pertemuan sesi pertama itu kalau dari jadwal jam makan siangnya agak sedikit telat ya Pak. Kalau kabar yang beredar karena setiap kepala negara itu ngambil waktunya 3 oke. Kalau gitu yang yang ini aja. Kalau gitu untuk yang pertama itu kan yang untuk GWK deh Pak, boleh nggak Pak? Pertanyaan soal GWK.
Nah, pertanyaan fokusin
yang,
aja.
Yang soal
Fokus.
Jepti.
Fokus ya, Jepti, ya, please. Ya.
Terima Pak.
Ya, selamat sore Opung. Saya ingin bertanya tentang untuk climate change, new energy transition. Nah, di sini apa yang Indonesia sepakati untuk mewujudkan energy transition ini? Terus, apakah ada kesepakatan antara Indonesia dan negara-negara global lain, misalnya Tiongkok, untuk mewujudkan energi atau transformasi energi ini? Terus apakah ada proposal yang dibawakan atau proposal yang ditawarkan setelah G20 ini, apakah ada investasi dari Tiongkok ke Indonesia yang baru? Terima kasih.
Kalau ini tadi kesepakatan ini, tadi Jepti itu anggotanya G7, plus dengan 2 Denmark dengan Norway. Ya. Dan ini angka $20 billion itu dari mereka. Saya kira ini satu hal yang luar biasa. Jadi yang pertama di dunia yang dalam size seperti ini besar, tadi John Morton sudah jelaskan. Dengan Cina kebetulan belum ada kaitan dengan ini. Ya. Silakan yang lain. Ya.
Satu lagi please on topic.
Ya.
Thank you. Europe is going back to firewood.
Can you? Yeah.
Europe is going back to firewood. That's a fact. It's not a speculation. And considering the geopolitical context and the pressure on the energy market and the impacts of these two on the inflation, do you think this arrangement will ever work? Can we have your views on this? How would this work?
Well, our responsibility, to be honest to you, Wahyudi, is to the next generation of Indonesia. That's, I think, very important. So we have to do it, gradually, but we have the timeline. And I think understanding between the US side and the team and Indonesian side really in the level of trust very high. So yeah, we can do it. Yeah, we understand sometime emergency, like from Europe, they import also coal from us. We understand that from Germany and also from Poland, but this is temporary. But we are talking not only for the 5 years, but we are talking also long term from that. So we understand also that we have a lot of our coal fire, but you should also check to take to your consideration that we have 437 gigawatt of renewable energy potential. So if we can exploit this one, or we can build like geothermal, we have like 29,000 megawatt, and we can go with the hydropower, we go the wind, we can go also tidal, we can go many area of renewable energy in Indonesia. So we're going to sign, for instance, with ADIA from the Abu Dhabi, and geothermal project with the Pertamina, for instance. This is, I think, I don't know the size, I don't remember, but it's like maybe 2-3 gigawatt. Something like this we're going to explore, So when the JEPT countries offer this one, we can, bring some projects like geothermal in Central Java, maybe in Sumatra, maybe in NTB, maybe in Sulawesi. So there are so many things that we can do. 437 gigawatt is not a small number, small size. I don't think that we have enough $20 billion for that. There's still more room to go, but at least we begin with this $20 billion. Maybe you want to add that?
You want to add anything?
Just briefly to say, I would echo everything that Coordinating Minister Luhut said. Indonesia, if you look at a resource map of the world and you look at where a convergence of resources, including sun, solar, tidal, geothermal converges, Indonesia is blessed with these resources. And in most countries around the world right now, in the vast majority of countries, renewables are cheaper.
Yeah.
And so our job is to help expedite that transition in a way that is consistent with this country's economic development, environmental and industrialization goals. And I think we see a promising path forward here, which this partnership helps launch today.
To all Indonesian media, I'd like to add, we are very rich, very rich country. In a way, yeah, we're talking about the renewable energy, but in the same time, also we have the second or third largest forestry globally. We have also mangrove, the largest mangrove on earth, and also the peatland and some others. So you put this together, also the depleted reservoir. So you put it all together, this country is very, very rich. You just need to manage. So I like to tell our Indonesian people, hey, let's go work together. Trust to your leader that we can achieve this one. And we are very, very happy, grateful also the support of the US in this regard, because this is very important. Sometimes we need to do something, but we need finance and technology. And now we get finance, we get the technology, we just have to structure and to schedule this one. And we have also the smart people in our country. They're not easy. Nobody can outsmart them, I promise you. And I think John Norton experienced that one. He deal with, one of the smartest people in this country, and this is also his fault because he trained Indonesian people in the top university in the US. Now they beg to become the counterpart. So this is Indonesia. Be proud to be Indonesia. This is a very important message from me as the oldest people in this room. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.